Back for another baller on a budget deck tech video. Well, I got just what you're looking for. Now this deck is going to go one of two ways, depending on two cards, and we'll get to that in a minute. It's either going to cost you about 120 bucks, or it's going to run you about 50. You can go two different routes with this, but the main components of the deck are as is. You'll see. All right. Shout out to my buddy Chris over at Warzone Matrix in Cleveland, Ohio. He definitely had a lot to do with constructing this deck, and I'm going to demonstrate it for you guys. Currently, I'm actually in the LGS filming this, so bada boosh. Shout out to Chris. Okay, so obviously this is a Defender deck. Let's just get through the land base. We're going to run, it's 3 color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plains, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forests. Now, you can always make the deck more expensive, of course, by throwing in some dual lands, obviously. Let's get to the meat. All about Defender and Arcades. Suspicious Bookcase. It's a 2-drop, artifact creature wall. It's got Defender. This creature can't attack. For 3, you tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. That ability can be utilized in this deck. It is a 0/4. We are running a total of 2 copies. My bad. Thought we had 4 of those. 2 copies of Suspicious Bookcase. Next up, we got Consulate Skygate. It's a 2-drop again. Artifact creature, wall. It's got Defender, but the perk to this one is it has Reach. It's a 0/4. We're going to be running a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Real quick, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel yet, by all means, go ahead. I'm going to be getting back into doing the Baller on a Budget deck tech series, and also spitting out some more expensive, pricey decks that are really good and competitive. This deck actually fared pretty well. I played about 6 matches against another more competitive deck, and I went 4 for 6 with it, which is pretty darn good in Standard right now. Gleaming Barrier. It's a 2-drop artifact creature wall. As you can see, there's a pattern here. It has Defender. When Gleaming Barrier dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token with. Tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. That can definitely come in handy if we're looking to get some, not mana fixing exactly, but yeah, we're trying to get that island, we're trying to get our plains, whatever the case may be. This card's definitely going to help out a lot. Gleaming Barrier. We're running a total of 4 copies of Gleaming Barrier. Next up, Amaranthian Wall. It's a 4-drop with Defender. For Deuce, wall gains indestructible until end of turn. This has actually saved me from losing a match. I won the match only because of having the wall out, especially this card. Being a 0/6, pretty nasty, especially if they got some Death Touch stuff or whatnot. It does have indestructible, goes a long way. We're going to be running a total of 4 Amaranthian Walls. Next up, good old Wall of Mist. It's a 2-drop, another wall. I understand, Defender. Remember, for the new players out there, with Defender, this creature can't attack, all right, unless it says otherwise, some other card, mixes with it, and that's exactly what this deck's going to do. Again, 2-drop, Defender, 0/5. It's a big old wall. We're running a total of 2 copies, Wall of Mist. Next up, Mr. Tetsu Co. God, I love this card. Fun little name. Let's get to the one that you can read English. How about that? Tetsu Co the Fugitive. He's a human rogue, legendary creature. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. This is gonna combo ridiculous. And I'll get to that combo in a minute here. It is a 1/3. But essentially, we're going to free all of our walls, turn them into, or they're going to lose their Defender, and they're going to be able to do some serious damage and be unblockable. It's just a nasty little trick here. Mr. Tetsu Co's a 1/3. We're running a total of 3 copies of them. Essence Scatter. So far, every card's been under like 50 cents. I mean, there's nothing really that's standing out right now. But we're going to get to the more pricey stuff. Essence Scatter. It's a 2-drop. We all know Weston Scatter. It's an instant counter target creature spell. Definitely going to come in handy. We are running blue, so of course there's going to be a mild amount of control. And also with white, you'll see that here in a second. But we want to get to our little combo pieces and be able to get our deck going. So this is going to buy us some time and get rid of any nasty little threats that do hit the battlefield, especially with Green Stompy just being nasty right now. When you got a 10-10 staring you at the face, Gigantosaurus, watch out. Stuff like this can easily take care of that. Counter target creature spell. Very simple, very basic. We are running a total of 4 Essence Scatters. Aegis of the Havens. Aegis of the Havens. It's a 2-drop instant. Target creature gets +1/+7 until end of turn. This is definitely going to help out in many situations, especially if we're going to make stuff unblockable. And then we're going to do old flip mode. Old flip mode is the greatest. Known as a shorty, I was always told, well, if I ain't going to be a part of the greatest, I got to be the greatest myself. And that's what Heavens is going to do here. I'll explain in just a second. Target creature gets +1/+7 until end of turn. We are running a total of 4 of these. Seal Away, because we got to have just a little bit of that control. A little bit more. Seal Away, it's a 2-drop flash. When Seal Away enters the battlefield, exile target tapped creature and opponent controls until Seal Away leaves the battlefield. This card, if you're running white, you're almost always going to be running a Seal Away. I think these cards this might be 50 cents, maybe 50 cents after the second run or the second placement of Dominaria out there in the market. So another very affordable card. Again, nothing too expensive yet. We're running a total of 4 Seal Aways. It's going to come in handy for sure. Settle the Wreckage. So here's where the deck gets a little more pricey. And you can make this deck crap. You can do it for even probably $25-$30 really if you wanted to by taking out Settle the Wreckage on this other card. But for those of you a little more competitive minded, Settle the Wreckage is a 4-drop instant. Exile all attacking creatures target player controls. That player may search his or her library for that many basic land cards, put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle his or her library. Talk about just wiping your opponent's creatures out. Just boosh! Hit them. Just wipe them all out. We'll see ya. We are running a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 Settle the Wreckage. I think it's about $8 right now. $7-8. There was a point in time where it was 16, 18, pretty crazy. Arcades the Strategist. Yes, this card is nasty. Hence why we're running 3 colors. We got 1-drop, 1 colorless, a green, a plains, and an island. Legendary creature, Elder Dragon. Love that Elder Dragons are back. Flying in Vigilance. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Alright? Each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. I'm going to sum this all up for you in a minute. It's a 3/5. We are running a total of 4 of him. Yes, Karn is in here. Cards so we can get to the cards we need. He's a 4-drop. And if they're coming at us crazy heavily, we have a lot of Defender cards. We have a lot of walls up ready to block them. Karn Scion of Urza, it's a 4-drop. +1, reveal the top 2 cards of your library, and opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand and exile the other with a silver counter on it. It's -1, put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand. -2, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. His third ability can get quite ridiculous and out of control because we are running a lot of artifact creature walls, in case you haven't noticed yet. And his loyalty is at 5. We have 2 total of the Karn Scion of Urza, and he has gone down in price recently. So let's put some of this together real quick and just show you how this would work. Now let's say you're going to be a little later in the game, okay? Just for gigs. So you missed your Arcades out. At this point, you probably already have maybe a couple walls out, all right? Now let's say it's your turn. We're going to go ahead. And Tetsu Co, he's out. Where's the English version? Chris is killing me with this non-English stuff. All right. There he is. There he is, Mr. Tetsu Co. All right, so creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked, right? That's nasty. That would apply to our walls here. So let's say he's out in play. Then you have Mr. Ebates the Strategist out. Remember, anytime we drop a card with Defender, we're going to be able to draw a card. And we have a ton of those in the deck already. Each creature you control, again, with Defender, assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So with these two components out, and these guys, just an example, let's say we're to attack. They cannot block. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. Are you following me? So right here, and the combat damage, or the combat damage is going to be equal to its toughness rather than its power. Those are going to swap out. So now you have a 6/6 and a 4/4. Swinging in, cannot be blocked. Might as well attack with him while you're at it. Oh, but wait, there's more. You can even throw this sucker down, slap it down. Boosh! +1/+7. You just made this guy into one huge, nasty conglomerate. He's now a 13/7. Mr. Ebates can attack as well. I mean, you are going to deal a ridiculous amount of damage to your opponent. I noticed a lot of games I was winning turn 5, turn 6 with this deck. I highly recommend you guys go out, put this deck together. I had a heck of a lot of fun playing with it. And actually, my opponents were rather surprised. They're like, okay, this really sucks. What do you do against that? It's very difficult to deal with. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. By all means, if you enjoyed it, share it with a friend, hit the thumbs up, and make sure you smack that bell button. Also, if you're not subscribed already, by all means, please do. Let me know if there's some things you change about this deck. I'm always all ears. And as always, guys, PLA.